In the bustling heart of Nairobi, where skyscrapers kissed the clouds and the streets never slept, lived a man named Daniel Mwangi. By day, the world knew him as the elusive CEO of Mwangi Holdings, a company that controlled real estate, transport, and luxury hotels across Kenya and East Africa. But Daniel was not your average tycoon. Despite his billions, he was tired of the fake smiles, the gold diggers, and the endless women who pretended to love him only for his money. At 38 years old, he craved something real, true love, the kind that money couldn't buy. One evening, sitting in his luxurious penthouse overlooking the Nairobi skyline, Daniel hatched a plan. He decided to disguise himself as a humble cleaner in his own company. No one would suspect that the man sweeping floors and scrubbing toilets was the billionaire they worked for. His only goal was to find a woman who would love him for who he was, not for what he owned. The very next week, Daniel put on a worn-out uniform, traded his Rolex for a cheap knockoff watch, and walked into his own headquarters as Joseph the Cleaner. Employees barely looked at him as he pushed his mop down the marble floors of the Mwangi Towers. But among the hundreds of staff, one woman stood out. Her name was Aisha, a 27-year-old receptionist with big dreams and a radiant smile. She was different. She greeted Joseph every morning, not with pity or fake politeness, but with genuine warmth. She even slipped him mandazis and chai when no one was watching. Over time, Joseph and Aisha grew close. She told him her struggles, how she came from Mombasa, raised her younger siblings after her parents died, and worked tirelessly to send money back home. Joseph listened, sometimes forgetting he was supposed to be just a cleaner. Slowly, he fell for her, and she seemed to feel the same. But Aisha had one secret. She was also being courted by another man, none other than the real CEO, Daniel Mwangi. At least, that's what she thought. Unbeknownst to Aisha, the Daniel Mwangi she was dating was actually fake. A cunning scheme had been hatched by one of Daniel's own board members, a man named Victor, who was jealous of Daniel's wealth and influence. Victor hired an actor to impersonate the CEO and seduce Aisha, hoping to later expose her as a gold digger and ruin Daniel's faith in women entirely. The trap was set. As weeks turned into months, Aisha's heart became torn. On one side, the humble cleaner Joseph, who treated her with kindness, patience, and sincerity. On the other side, the glamorous, wealthy Daniel Mwangi, who whisked her away in fancy cars and showered her with gifts. What she didn't know was that the two men were not only connected, they were part of a dangerous game. One fateful Friday, the company held its annual gala at the Kempinski Hotel in Nairobi. Aisha was invited by her rich boyfriend, and Joseph, the cleaner, was also present, working behind the scenes. But as fate would have it, the real Daniel Mwangi decided it was time to reveal his true identity. He walked into the gala not in his cleaner's uniform, but in a sharp Italian suit. The entire room froze. Aisha's eyes widened as she saw Joseph, her cleaner, standing side by side with the real, powerful CEO. Her jaw dropped. She realized Joseph, the man she had been falling for, was the real Daniel Mwangi all along. But before she could process the shock, Victor's scheme exploded. The fake Daniel Mwangi stormed into the gala, demanding Aisha choose him. Cameras flashed, employees whispered, and the scandal spread like wildfire. Two supposed CEOs, one woman caught in the middle. The truth unraveled quickly. Victor's betrayal, the hired actor, the elaborate deception. But the greatest shock came when Aisha, tears in her eyes, turned to Joseph, the real Daniel, and said, "I don't care about your money. I loved you as the cleaner, and that's all that matters." But the scandal did not end there. Just as Daniel was about to embrace her, journalists broke a story live on TV. Aisha had been secretly taking money from the fake CEO, thinking it was genuine support, and sending it back to Mombasa. Now the entire country questioned, was she truly innocent, Or had she been seduced by wealth after all? The next day, tabloids screamed headlines. Cleaner CEO exposes lover in billionaire scandal. Social media in Kenya exploded with debates. Some called Aisha a victim of manipulation. Others called her a gold digger who got caught. Daniel, however, chose forgiveness. He knew Aisha's heart, and he had seen her kindness long before the money came into play. In the end, Daniel publicly exposed Victor, fired him from the board, and pressed charges for fraud. As for Aisha, Daniel gave her a choice: walk away from the chaos and start fresh, or stay by his side and face the storm of public judgment. She chose him. The two married quietly in Lamu, away from the cameras, where the ocean whispered secrets of loyalty and betrayal. And so, the billionaire who disguised himself as a cleaner found true love in the most scandalous way possible, through lies, betrayal, and a test of hearts that shook the entire nation.